Did you know that over 90% of our daily decisions are influenced by subtle psychological cues that we're often completely unaware of? Or that the simple act of displaying confidence can increase your perceived authority by up to 75%? These startling facts barely scratch the surface of what we'll explore today. We're not just talking about power in the boardroom or battlefield. These laws apply right in your backyard, in everyday interactions, negotiations, and even in your social media engagements. Each chapter will delve deep into a law of psychological power, providing you with practical strategies to enhance your influence and navigate the complexities of human relationships. Prepare to unlock secrets that can transform your approach to power, persuasion, and leadership. Are you ready to wield these psychological tools wisely and ethically? Let's get started. Chapter 1: The Law of Confidence. Confidence isn't just a personal trait, it's a powerful psychological tool. When you project confidence, people naturally want to follow, listen, and respect you. It's about believing in your ability to succeed, which in turn convinces others to believe in you too. Studies show that confidence can even trump actual expertise when it comes to gaining influence. Remember, confidence should be displayed not just through words but also through your actions and body language. Think about adopting a posture that conveys assurance and conviction in your interactions. Chapter 2: The Law of Clarity. Transparency can be a tactical advantage. By being clear about your intentions, you establish trust. However, clarity in manipulation is about controlling what is transparent and what remains obscured. For instance, a clear agenda paired with subtle tactics can lead to more predictable and favorable outcomes. Psychological studies have highlighted that when leaders are transparent about their goals, they are more likely to garner support, even if the goals are self-serving. It's about using clarity to shape how others perceive and react to your actions. Chapter 3: The Law of Social Currency. Your social networks are a treasure trove of power. Every connection has potential value, be it information, influence, or access. The law of social currency is about maximizing and leveraging these connections wisely. For example, being seen with influential people can increase your perceived importance. Social currency also involves reciprocity. Sharing valuable information or favors can make others more likely to assist you in the future. In essence, your relationships should be nurtured like investments, where the returns are mutual benefits and increased influence. Chapter 4: The Law of Predictability. Managing expectations is a cornerstone of gaining psychological power. When people can predict your behavior, they're more comfortable around you, which gives you control over the relationship. However, being too predictable can make you vulnerable. The key is to balance predictability with occasional unpredictability to keep others engaged and off balance. For instance, a study on consumer habits revealed that while people appreciate consistency, unexpected perks or rewards often solidify loyalty more effectively than consistent, predictable benefits. Chapter 5: The Law of Contrast. The human mind values things more when they stand out against their surroundings or when compared to worse options. This psychological law can be applied by subtly enhancing your position by juxtaposing it against less favorable alternatives. For instance, in negotiation, presenting an initially high demand can make your actual desired outcome seem more reasonable by comparison. This principle is widely used in marketing, where a premium product is placed next to a standard one, making the higher-priced item appear more desirable due to its added features. Chapter 6: The Law of Patience. Power builds over time and requires patience. Like a master chess player, you must think several moves ahead and be willing to wait for the right moment to act. The strategic use of delay can enhance your power as it creates a sense of anticipation and can make others more receptive to your influence when you finally choose to act. Historical figures like Nelson Mandela exemplify this law. His long-term patience and strategic planning led to significant political and social changes. In your personal and professional life, remember that immediate gratification often pales in comparison to what you can achieve with a patient and thoughtful approach. Chapter 7: The Law of Reward and Punishment. Human behavior is heavily influenced by the anticipation of reward or the fear of punishment. This law is about balancing these two elements to guide others' actions. Effective leaders use rewards to inspire loyalty and motivation, while also establishing clear consequences for undesirable behaviors. This can create a powerful dynamic where people are driven not only by their desire for gain but also by their fear of loss. It's important to ensure that rewards and punishments are fair and proportionate to maintain respect and authority. Chapter 8: The Law of Scarcity. Scarcity creates value. The rarer something is, the more people want it. By limiting access to yourself or your resources, you can increase your perceived worth and power. This is seen in limited edition products, which often create a frenzy due to their scarcity. Similarly, being selectively available can enhance your influence in social and professional circles. People tend to value the time and attention of those who aren't always available more highly than those who are readily accessible. Chapter 9. The Law of Commitment. People strive for consistency in their beliefs and actions. Once someone commits to something, whether verbally or in writing, they are more likely to fulfill that commitment due to the pressure to maintain self-consistency. This law can be harnessed by encouraging small initial commitments that can be gradually increased. For instance, in sales, getting a customer to agree to a small purchase or trial can lead to larger purchases down the line. Psychologically, this is tied to the desire to appear consistent to ourselves and others. It's a powerful tool in negotiations and influence strategies. Chapter 10. The Law of Reciprocity. The expectation to return favors is ingrained in human nature. By doing someone a favor, you create a sense of obligation for them to reciprocate. This principle is foundational in building and maintaining social bonds and can be strategically used to gain favor and influence. For example, giving exclusive access to information or providing help before asking for anything in return can significantly increase your influence. In professional settings, this might look like mentoring a colleague without immediate expectations, thereby building loyalty and cooperation that you can draw upon later. Chapter 11. The Law of Authority. Authority is not just about holding a position of power but also about how others perceive your expertise and credibility. You can cultivate an aura of authority by displaying confidence, knowledge, and competence. People naturally defer to those they perceive as authorities. This can be enhanced by symbols of expertise such as titles, uniforms, or public acknowledgments of your skills. Psychological studies have shown that people are more likely to follow instructions from those considered authorities, even if they have no direct power over them. Chapter 12. The Law of Mystery. Maintaining a sense of mystery can make you more intriguing and compelling. When people can't fully read you or predict your actions, they are more likely to remain interested and engaged. This can be particularly useful in leadership and personal relationships, where revealing too much can sometimes lead to a loss of respect or interest. Mystery can involve being unpredictable, keeping your plans private, or occasionally behaving in ways that contradict people's expectations of you. This creates a charismatic aura around you, drawing people in and keeping them guessing. Chapter 13. The Law of Emotional Influence. Emotions drive decision-making more often than cold logic. By tapping into emotions, you can sway people in ways that facts and logic alone cannot. This law focuses on connecting on an emotional level, whether through storytelling, shared experiences, or empathetic communication. For instance, great leaders and speakers use emotional appeal to unify their audiences and motivate action. Research indicates that emotional campaigns are far more effective in influencing behavior than purely informational ones. Understanding and resonating with the emotional states of others can significantly enhance your persuasive power. Chapter 14. The Law of Resistance. Resistance is a natural reaction to being persuaded or forced into actions. The key to overcoming this is subtlety and indirect influence. Instead of direct confrontation, find ways to align what you want with what your opponent or target wants. Techniques such as framing choices in ways that seem beneficial to others or subtly guiding them to your desired outcome can reduce resistance. This law also involves recognizing when to back off and apply a softer touch, as relentless pressure can increase resistance and damage relationships. Chapter 15. The Law of Unity. The stronger the sense of community and shared identity, the more influential you can become within that group. This law involves fostering a sense of unity by highlighting common goals, values, or enemies. It can be as simple as using inclusive language like we and us to reinforce group identity. Effective leaders create a feeling of belonging, which can inspire loyalty and collective action. In any environment, whether it's a company, a social club, or an online community, fostering unity can amplify your influence and the group's cohesiveness. Chapter 16. The Law of Attention. Control over attention is a powerful form of influence. By directing what people focus on, you can shape their perceptions and decisions. This involves not just capturing attention, but also maintaining it and directing it towards strategically chosen points. High-impact visuals, engaging stories, or compelling problems can capture and hold attention. In the age of information overload, the ability to effectively manage both your own and others' focus is crucial. Techniques such as controlling the agenda in meetings or emphasizing certain aspects over others in communications can effectively manage perceptions and influence outcomes. Chapter 17. The Law of Positioning. Strategic positioning within social or organizational hierarchies can determine your level of influence. It's about placing yourself in situations where you can leverage the most advantage. This involves not only being in the right place at the right time but also aligning yourself with the right people. Effective positioning means understanding the dynamics of your environment and adapting your role to maximize your influence. For example, positioning yourself as a central node in your network, where you are the go-to person for information or resources, can significantly increase your power. Chapter 18. The Law of Concession. Using concessions strategically can be a powerful tool in negotiations and relationships. By conceding small points, you can gain larger advantages. This technique, often used in diplomacy and business, involves giving up something of lesser value to secure something of greater value in return. The key is to make concessions appear as compromises that benefit the other side more significantly, thereby maintaining goodwill and often encouraging reciprocity in concessions from the other party. Chapter 19. The Law of Reversal. Turning weaknesses into strengths is an art form in the realm of power. This law involves redefining situations in which you appear disadvantaged to reveal hidden opportunities. By embracing and even highlighting certain weaknesses, you can disarm opponents and shift the power dynamics in your favor. For instance, admitting a fault openly can build trust and credibility, which are essential for long-term influence. Similarly, by turning an apparent setback into a stage for showcasing resilience or innovation, you can transform the narrative and strengthen your position. Chapter 20. The Law of Power Dynamics. Understanding and navigating the shifting landscape of power structures is crucial. This final law encapsulates the essence of power dynamics, knowing when to assert dominance and when to retreat, when to lead and when to follow. Power is not static. It flows and changes depending on the context and the players involved. Mastering this law means being adaptable, perceptive, and tactically astute, always ready to adjust your strategies based on the evolving dynamics around you.